Welcome back, everyone. I'm Uriah from NBA Now and Then, The Greatest Comparisons, along with my co-host Maurice, with another episode from our 50, 40, 90 interview series. Our special guest today is Yaron Weitzman, who is an award-winning NBA writer and the author of Tanking to the Top. He's covered the NBA for Fox Sports and Bleacher Report, and his writing has appeared in The Ringer, GQ, ESPN, The New Yorker, and more. His latest book, A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers, is set for release on October 21st. Welcome to our show, Yaron.
Thanks for having me. Also, I think maybe it was cut out. You left out the most interesting part of my bio. Is it in there, or was it cut out? It might have been cut out.
Oh, what? Help us out.
I was the college intern at ESPN Radio, tasked with delivering Stephen A. his daily bag of cheese doodles. And that is not
cheese doodles. Are you serious?
That's his favorite snack?
I am serious. I was at ESPN Radio. I was an intern there, doing nothing, getting basically food runs, right? This is when this is about 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I forget, whatever. So he was sort of on the beginning of the comeback, right? Remember, he was at ESPN, then he was out, then he was beginning the comeback. So he was doing an ESPN radio show. And ESPN Radio New York is above Penn Station. Right. And he would go send me to get some cheese doodles, and I would go down. He loved cheese doodles. And the thing I learned quickly about cheese doodles is that it's not a typical, it's not a regular bag of chips that you can just find in a bodega or a newsstand anywhere. Right. I had to go searching through Penn Station to find him his cheese doodles. But yeah, I guess they cut out that part of the bio. Yeah. So that is the part of my bio, yeah.
Cheese doodles are a good snack. It's a top tier snack.
Listen, we could not have moved on without that fact. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And I do have one. Speaking of cheese doodles, I'll raise you Cheetos. When I was in college, I was in Walmart in Hampton, Virginia. I went to Hampton University. And at 1:30 in the morning, because in college, what else do you have to do but hang out in Walmart, right? So I'm in line, and there's nobody in the store. And I turn and I look around, and Allen Iverson is standing right behind me with the biggest bag of Cheetos you could ever imagine. And I was like, oh, AI. And then I just proceeded to buy whatever I was buying. So you got Stephen A. and cheese doodles.
And they're close to two of them. Maybe we figured out the root of the bond is cheese flavored potato snacks. That might be it.
You got it. Hey, listen, Yaron, before we begin, please let all of our followers know, where can they find all of your social media handles, your website?
YaronWeitzman.com. I'm Twitter, Yaron, basically my name everywhere. Twitter, TikTok or X, whatever. Blue Sky, Instagram. Starting TikTok a little bit because, I got to meet the Gen Z, whatever you want to call them, where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all that stuff, all the basic stuff, whatever your preferred medium is.
Sounds good. So
Sounds good.
Let's start from the beginning. Tell us about your basketball journey. How did you get into hoops?
How did I get into hoops? That's a great question. So baseball was my first. I was one of the kids who had the sports bug, and I have a 6-year-old now, and he's got it too. Some kids just have that. Baseball was my first, but a couple of years in, like when I was in 3rd grade, I had some friends planning to play basketball, and I didn't know how to play. I remember this. It's funny, the random memories you have, like telling my parents, hey, can I go to basketball camp? I want to learn how to play basketball. And just became obsessed, right? Just became obsessed with it. Why? I mean, I can't tell you. I guess we can go through therapy and try to figure it out, right? But I just became obsessed. I grew up in New York, so a Knicks fan. I was okay. It wasn't great. I rode the bench on a not great high school team. But I played through college, and then when I was younger, I used to play with my dad. My dad played pickup until he was like really 70, which is wild. But when I was in high school, he would bring me to play with older men, so I would get the shit beat out of me. Because I was the fast guy, they'd beat me when I would drive. All my friends were basketball heads. It was just a thing. It was just, I don't know. I became obsessed with it.
Yeah. Now let me ask you, Yaron. Since we're talking about LeBron, and you wrote a book about him, what was your inspiration to write a book about LeBron?
So yeah, it's interesting. So I live in New York, like I said, and I've been covering the NBA for about 10 years. And I've actually almost literally never written about him before this. The way I sort of approach my NBA, my daily NBA writing career, and the way I approach the job is I like to zag. Everyone else is zigging, I like to zag. And writing about LeBron is not a zag in general. And it's not, I never felt like there was a need for more LeBron coverage or that I had much to add, right, from New York. But at some point, it's just like, I'm 37. He is the guy, the preeminent guy, but the guy. I wouldn't even say basketball player, maybe athlete for anyone my generation, right? And I just wanted to dive in. It felt like something I should be doing as an NBA reporter. And I was interested in it, right? I'm obviously fascinated by him. I was fascinated by him. I still remain fascinated by him. So I just wanted to dive into that. And the other thing is, I like to cover. We were talking before the show. You guys read my other book. I'm really interested in sort of the Game of Thronesy aspect of sports and basketball specifically, and how these power dynamics play out behind the scenes and then impact what we see happen on the court. And it just, to me, seemed very clear that when you're merging these two iconic sports institutions of LeBron and the Los Angeles Lakers, and you put them under one roof, that there would just be a ton to unpack there. So that's kind of how I ended up starting this
Yeah.
project.
When you talk about LeBron James, it's like big business behind the
Yep.
scenes. And I've always been interested in myself, like all the endeavors and philanthropy and everything else that comes abroad. I'm sure you're going to get into that in the book. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. He's you know, he's interesting. He's both cool and corny. He does some brilliant stuff and some stuff that makes you shake your head. I mean, he's a fascinating human being. He really is.
Yeah, he is.
He's just a full human.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you obviously went behind the scenes yourself to gather details to put into your book. What do you say surprised you the most about the behind the scenes aspect of LeBron, either as a leader on the court or just as a public figure?
Um, it's a good question. At LeBron, because it's different. LeBron and the Lakers are different. I mean, the duality of him. I'm repeating kind of what I was saying before. Just the idea that, well, here specific is that he didn't necessarily have as much power throughout his tenure of the Lakers as many believe. He obviously had power, and there are places where they were able to leverage it. But the best example I can give is in 2019. He very clearly, and this isn't new, but or people know about this. He very clearly wanted the Lakers to hire Ty Lue, and they said no. Uh, why they said no? I mean, they gave me a statement. Basically, they were being cheap. They didn't want to pay him. They offered him a 3-year contract. He thought he was worth more than that as a championship winning coach. To me, it's a really interesting point for the Lakers' history. They ended up winning a title, so I don't want to say everything would be different, but Ty Lue was the perfect coach for that team, and I think if they hire him, he's still there, and then the whole LeBron tenure is different. Ty Lue was, besides being a brilliant coach, X and O's, he's respected by players. LeBron liked him, but he also knows how to go at LeBron. He's a former Laker, which matters to them, right? He
Mhm.
literally checked every single box. And I think things would be really different if he had been hired there. And they didn't do it. That's a good example of them. Thing I learned is LeBron not having the power. I also learned that you know, LeBron can be a really difficult teammate, which I think people know. I kind of the way I summarize a lot of the book is, might say, "Oh, I knew that," the broad strokes of it, but what I kind of went to get, and I think I got, is a lot of details illustrating things that, yeah, I kind of know that's the case, but I'm going to illustrate this to you. So I'm going to show you how, say, LeBron's the first team event he has with the Lakers after signing with them, after saying he's down, he knows they're going to have to rebuild, or he didn't say rebuild, but he's okay. They have young players. It's okay if they're not chasing a championship. The first team event is at this reservation casino, Pachanga Casino Resort. It's a big team event every year. The Lakers do it. Everyone goes. The players go. It's for the big sponsors and the big season ticket holders. All that. Players are all hobnobbing, and LeBron doesn't take the team bus down. and uh
Yeah.
and then he's supposed to show up it's Friday night, I believe, or Saturday night, I forget. He says, I'll take a chopper. He gets a chopper, lands on the golf course, but there's an Ohio State game going, and he goes up to watch the
Mm.
Ohio State game instead of participating in the event,
Wow.
right? He never shows up. And it's like a silly thing. It's dumb, benign, but it's also telling that he sort of entered year one with the Lakers as basically saying, I'm gonna be a part for these guys. Wait till we get Anthony Davis, then I'll flip the switch. And you talk in the book, I have all these examples about him being an incredible leader that first year, right? With Anthony Davis during the 2019-2020 bubble season, and before the bubble and during the bubble.
Yeah.
And then they get Westbrook, and things go to shit, and he becomes a bad leader again. Just the way the switch can flip back and forth is really interesting.
Wow, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. And you did mention his time in with the Los Angeles Lakers, and I, I know most of your book is going to be with the Lakers, but how has LeBron's time in LA shaped his legacy compared to Cleveland or Miami?
It's a really good question. I mean, it's weird because this is now it's his 8th consecutive season. I believe that we've hit. I should know this by heart. Either we've tied, we've hit the mark of most consecutive seasons with the team, right? So he's played in Cleveland for more in total, but it was split. And this is his longest consecutive stretch, and it's one title. And not only that, but they've missed the playoffs a few times. It's been really weird. That 2019-2020 title, we're talking legacy. I think it was and is really important. It gets him to a certain level. Uh, no, but he saw when he came there, he was thinking Jordan. I don't think he ever said it. I think he did say it actually. He said chasing ghosts, and he's alluded to it. Like he was thinking
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
He's punted on that. He kind of punted to the fact, okay, I'm going to be the scoring leader, which is, and these are all incredible things. I'm going to be the points leader. I'm going to play with my son, right? And to me, the true legacy making aspect of playing with Bronny, it's not that you were the first father son to play. That's its own thing because that shows that your longevity is unparalleled. But it's that, how do you phrase this? The fact that he was so good at such a late age that he could force a team
Yeah.
to take his son who is not worthy of being really drafted, right? Like, because they want to appease him, like that to me is the thing that shows how different he is, right?
Yeah.
One part is this longevity. One part is just showing, no, this guy he's not just like, and no offense to Vince Carter, but he's not just Vince Carter floating around the 3-point line at the age of 40, right? He is
Yeah.
somebody so good at such a late age that it is worth it for the team. They've made doing a cost benefit analysis. And they're saying, you know what, we're going to basically waste a second round pick so we can make LeBron happy, right? That's an incredible thing. So sort of shifted in terms of the legacy stuff he was thinking about. I mean, the other thing in the book we sort of trace is like a sort of evolution. And it's really a up and down of what he wants to be off the court, right? So there was a point around 2019, 2020, and he started positioning himself as, maybe I'll be a thought leader. I'm going to talk politics a lot, and I'm going to get involved in that world a lot, and I'm going to hold a lot of books that I'm only through page 1 on, but I'm going to bring them to the press conferences anyway, right? I'm going to do all that. And he sort of shifted away from that. And to be clear, I have no issue with that. But he sort of shifted away from that. There was a lot of stuff about like, we're going to own our own businesses. Again, he's sort of shifting away from that a little bit. We're seeing now, we're airing this the week of the Hennessy ad, right? That was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was not his, that was him leveraging his power to benefit someone else's business, not his own, which again, I don't care, but I find it interesting, right? So in terms of
Yeah.
like, it's just been a ebb and flow with him in terms of where he's at and what he's trying to make his legacy.
Yeah. Yeah, the legacy is long lasting, and the fact that he's playing with his son is truly remarkable. Whether you like it, hate it, or are indifferent, it's going to be a long time before we ever see that again. But I want to talk about Hollywood and someone in Hollywood that is probably, as far as acting, is on the similar level in terms of compared to LeBron and basketball. But in your book, you mentioned Will Smith.
I love this story, yeah.
Can you please elaborate for everyone listening a little bit on how he created a wedge between LeBron and Russell Westbrook?
I think this is like, sometimes when you're reporting a book and you make a lot of phone calls, and sometimes you kind of, not that you stop paying attention, but it becomes a little robotic. You're taking notes and just, yeah, then what happened, and then every now and then someone brings up an anecdote or says, do you know about this? And it's just like, wait, what? And so the story is, so the Lakers, Rob Pelinka, in a very general manager of the Lakers, in a very Lakers style thing, came up with something called the Genius Series, where they bring in, I think, Elon Musk, but like all kinds of quote geniuses, Kendrick Lamar, actors, everyone you could think of, right? Come in, they speak to The Rock, they speak to the team for a half hour, take questions, they take some pictures, blah, blah, blah. Cool. They get Will Smith to come in. Funny, it's like 6 months after he slaps Chris Rock across the face,
Ooh,
which is
wow.
just random.
Yeah.
And this is the toward the beginning of Russell Westbrook's second season of the Lakers. So the first season he was traded. First season was a shit show, just an utter complete disaster. Westbrook and LeBron aren't really seeing eye to eye. And by this point, Westbrook has sort of grown a little. Say anything you want about Russell Westbrook, that guy is and anyone in the NBA, they'll tell you he is as genuine as they get. He doesn't hide his emotions. He's upfront. Maybe sometimes would benefit from turning it down a little bit. He does not. LeBron is sort of the opposite. And by this point, Westbrook had grown frustrated with LeBron's, in the internet they might call it phony stuff. Some we'll just call it a little sometimes disingenuousness, right? Like whether it's sort of the what's your favorite Godfather movie? Oh, I can't, or all of them, or can you name your favorite? Can you name your favorite book? I love all of that. Just a lot of the famous quotes like that stuff, right? The memes that we've all seen. Anyway, so him and LeBron are already on the relationship's on thin ice a little bit, and Will Smith comes in, so they bring him in. They're in the middle of a losing streak, so it's after a film session, like 6 games into the year 2. I think they're 2-4. I don't. It's not going well, and so they have the film session, not going great. Darvin Ham, the head coach at the time, says, "Okay, I'm going to go get Will Smith." He was shooting baskets with general manager Rob Pelinka in the in the gym waiting. Okay, as soon as he gets out, LeBron says, "Okay," he's in a bad mood. "Okay, guys, bleep this. I'm out of here. You guys got this." Okay, just walks out the back door. Anthony Davis says, "Okay, I'm out too." Follows LeBron at the back door. They're all looking, be like, "What's going on?" Russell Westbrook says, "Well, we're all going to leave." And Patrick Beverley, never one too shy to share his feelings, kind of goes, "No, you don't get it. They won titles. You didn't. We have to stay." And Westbrook, to him, that's offensive because he views himself as why in his mind he's the same category as LeBron and AD. Which is one of the reasons I love this story, because it's sort of a microcosm and captures all the dynamics taking place within the organization at that point. Anyway, Darvin Ham, they're all arguing. Darvin Ham comes back in, says, "You guys ready?" They go, "We need a few more minutes." He's like, "What?" Basically ends up going out, sees that they're talking, hears them arguing, goes out a back door, brings back LeBron and Anthony Davis. They come back. I don't know what he said to them. That I didn't get. Brings them back. Then goes to get Pelinka, brings in Pelinka and Will Smith. Okay, fine. So Will Smith comes in, has no idea LeBron had just walked out on his, that was going to bail on his big speech. Will Smith starts talking. You could probably guess the speech. It's talking about his movies, what he did, yada, yada, yada. It's supposed to go like 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden he goes, "Any questions?" And one person raises his hand, and it's LeBron. And he has a question. And then another question. And then LeBron has another question. And another question. And Westbrook is sitting there the whole entire time. It goes like twice as long because LeBron's asking a million questions. And Westbrook is eating a bowl of fruit, scowling, thinking, this mother bleeper, I mean, that's not a quote, but you can imagine this guy who an hour ago was walking out of this meeting, all of a sudden now has a million questions for Will Smith and is talking about how much he loves Will Smith. And if you Google, the team took a picture after with Will Smith. And if you Google it, having known the story now, and you will see Russell Westbrook's face and you will see the reaction. You can see basically everyone smiling except for him in the team picture. So it's like, again, it's a microcosm. And I'm not going to say that Will Smith was the breaking point in the relationship, but it was just sort of, Westbrook was he was done with it. Ironically, I mean, they were also done with him because he was playing like an idiot. But just from an emotional standpoint, he was done with it.
The story behind the scowl. I got to find that picture now.
If you find a picture, you're going to laugh now. You're going to laugh,
I'm going to Google that one.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So after writing Take It to the Top, a book about the Philadelphia 76ers, when you wrote this book, Hollywood Indie, what kind of access or sources did you have while writing it? Was there
access? None. So I interviewed nearly 300 people. The LeBron doesn't participate for the most part, really, with any sort of interviews anymore that are not through his own companies. Which again, he's earned it. I respect it. He doesn't want to give away his story, right? If he does it, he'll do a Netflix documentary at some point or whatever. The Lakers threatened to sue me, right? So the Lakers hired a famous defamation lawyer. The way this works is like, when I start the book, I reach out to the Lakers, Jeannie Buss, the owner, tell her I'm doing the book. We actually met and had off the record conversations a couple times. Somewhere along the line, she grew very concerned about what was going to be in the book. I have theories, but I'm not really sure why, right? So whenever they hired a lawyer, and the way it works is you do send them called a fact-checking document, right? So before you publish, and I call it a list of negative questions because I don't need to get Jeannie Buss to respond to somebody saying she's a brilliant owner. Like, I don't need her response to that. That's great. So you send them a list of negative questions. Now, what happens often is this spooks them because they only see the negative and they think you're writing a big hit piece. And anyone who reads the book, like, there's some of that, but this is not a hit piece. It's a nuanced book. After that, they sent me a long list of responses basically saying that I was accusing me of sexism, misogyny, fabrication, and said that, make no mistake, many people threaten to sue, but we will threaten to sue you for defamation. Wow. They had no grounds. I mean, I guess they might still sue, I guess, in theory. I don't know. I'd be surprised. They had no grounds because everything, I'm not fabricating this stuff. But so to answer your question of access, yeah, there was the access was not there, so I had to go sort of back doors.
Okay. Well, Maurice just mentioned Tanking to the Top. By the way, when I ordered that book, Yaron, I got it in the mail. I ripped open the package and I sat down and I read it in a few hours. I was
I love that. Thank you.
like your
Yeah.
your research and your prose and your approach to giving fans behind the scenes of the drama that us Sixers fans had to live through. It just grabbed my curiosity and it never let go. And Maurice, he read the book too.
Yeah.
So you wrote deeply about the team building of the Sixers through that book. How did you approach, or how was your approach to this book about the LeBron Lakers
I
different
mean, uh,
than that book?
it's it's the the in a big picture idea, it's similar, right? So I guess, yeah, I'm catching them. It was also a little rebuild, but it's sort of a similar idea that we're rebuilding. We're trying to get our stars, and what does it look like? Braun is a different level of, I'm gonna say, player and also just celebrity, right?
Mm,
Than anyone else on the
yep.
Sixers, even Joel Embiid, right? They're just not even the same echelons. LeBron's just his own. I mean, it's him and Tom Brady. I don't know who else you're gonna talk, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you
Yeah,
can
it's a
name
good
one other
point.
person, but just it's a different level, right? So there's that, and things are more guarded then, and the image is more guarded, and also a big difference is the Sixers. A lot of people are writing. I was writing about. I'm gonna say they were kids, but like Joel Embiid, 20s, Fultz, 20s, Simmons, 20s. Here I'm writing about LeBron. These are men, right? LeBron and Anthony Davis, a lot of coaches, but the idea being the same, just like what, again, as I said in the beginning, what are the dynamics happening behind the scenes that are leading to what we're seeing take place on the court, right? And the Westbrook stuff, for example, like how does a team 2 years removed from a title, or even 1 year? I mean, not even 2 years. I'll say 2 seasons because we had the bubble and the truncated calendars. How do they end up making such a colossal mistake of trading for Russell Westbrook in a move where really I think not even in a Monday morning quarterback way? Like there's some moves that backfire and you kind of say, okay, well, oh, I knew it. And no one actually knew it, right? We all gave the trade an A grade in the present, and then later say, no, I knew. The Westbrook trade, I mean, that was pretty predictable that that wouldn't go well, both in terms of on the court style and the personalities off the court, and just like, so how does that happen? How does a team make that sort of mistake? Like, I'd love to know the dynamics that lead up to that. So that's sort of the approach, and can I unpack that and peel that back?
Okay. So let me ask you this, and I want you to elaborate. What chapter or part of your book do you find the most interesting?
Most interesting. That's a good one. So it's a little different. I actually love some of the two people. I loved writing about Rich Paul, and I loved writing about Rob Pelinka. I guess I'll focus on Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka is the Lakers general manager, and he is one of the the weirdest, most interesting, fascinating people I've ever covered. Um, and he's like this important NBA figure who's going to end up being the Lakers GM for like 20 years when it's all said and done. And he hadn't been written about in such an in-depth way, and just he's really interesting. He's the guy whose dad was hard on him, and he's really smart and was good at basketball, and he really didn't. He like basically he was cool. He was good looking and a good athlete in high school, but elected instead of going to parties and having girlfriends to just chase work, work, work and grades because he wanted to be a Division I player, and he got a scholarship. He was part of the Fab Five. He was a reserve on the Fab Five.
Yeah.
Then he becomes an agent, and his big break comes when Kobe, he's sort of like a 20-year-old agent or a 30-year-old agent, young, working in Arn Tellem is his name, Kobe's original agent in Wasserman, SFX back then. No, excuse me, Wasserman became SFX, sorry, Wasserman. And Kobe proposes to Vanessa, and everyone in Kobe's life thinks it's a big mistake. Kobe's agent, Arn Tellem, wants him to sign a prenup. Kobe's furious. Vanessa's furious. Kobe doesn't fire them, but basically they find a new point man in the agency to run it. And Palinka's like, I'll do it. And that sort of sets his
Wow.
career on his trajectory. He stands by Kobe. I'm not going to judge the morals of it, but during the sexual assault case, I mean, it's kind of a gross way to put it, but it's one of the all-time great bets in sports business history. Like he basically stood by Kobe during the Colorado trial. Kobe emerges not only does he not go to jail, but he basically, just from a commercial standpoint, comes down the other end of it, and becomes just as big, if not bigger, than he was before. And Rob Pelinka is his guy, and because he's his guy, and he's Kobe's guy. We know, again, we're talking about the famous guys before, like LeBron, Tom Brady. Kobe is in that level, and LeBron and Pelinka's his right hand man for all those years, and
Wow.
then he becomes the Lakers GM, and just like he said, this fascinating career. And people don't trust him. He gets described as somebody whose word can't be trusted, yet he's worked in the NBA for 25 years. He's really interesting. I just found writing about him fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, loyalty goes a long way. And that
Right.
whole ordeal, that could have really sunk Kobe. Like, it really could have taken him down, but he rebounded. And thanks to Rob Pelinka and you fleshing that out, now we know a little bit more about it. So this is the last question, Yaron, about your book. And then we're going to take you to the NBA Draft Time Machine. Just to sum things up about your book, what will readers get from a Hollywood ending, and how do you hope that it will be received?
I hope those that we got a good review already, and it made me happy because it said, I think the phrase was, the broad strokes were already known, but this has got, I forget the exact phrase after that, but takes it to another level of detail, right? That's what I want people to walk away saying, man, like, I kind of knew that, but I didn't understand the depth of it, right? So from a simple perspective, I want to inform and entertain, right? That's what you're trying to do as a reporter or as a writer, inform and entertain and hope people enjoy it. But also learn, I tell people when I write about them, right? They say positive, negative, and I always say I walk in with this. I don't both. Yes, no. I don't have an agenda. I ask people a million questions and read a million things and listen to a million things and then ask more follow-up questions and just go wherever the truth takes me, right? And what the story is. It's like nobody's perfect, and that's fine. I think the prologue I phrase this book is like it's a story about storytellers and the stories they tell about themselves. And I think you'll see this in this book, the idea that guys like LeBron and Pelinka and the Lakers, Rich Paul, there's a lot of myth making that goes on in the world of sports and the country in general from a pop culture standpoint. And it's not that I'm looking to tear it down, but I'm a believer in the truth, right? And let's actually get to the true aspect of what people are and how they got to where they did. And then we can have actually honest discussions about it. So that's, I guess, what answers their questions.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right. I have a question, Yaron. Are you ready to enter the NBA Draft Time Machine?
Sure. Hit me. You might have to hold my hand a little bit, but I'm good.
We got you.
And now, get ready for the NBA Now and Then Draft Time Machine.
All right. We're here with Yaron Weitzman, and he is about to enter the Draft Time Machine. Here's how it works, Yaron. You have two NBA stars from different eras, and they're in the same draft class. For fun, if you were guaranteed that both players could have a decade-long career of equally good health, who would you pick? All right. And all of these comparisons, Yaron, we covered them in our podcasts. We commit hours of all these comparisons, the players' background, stats. So our first episode from season 2, we're about to start season 3, we compared Anthony Edwards to Dwayne Wade. Who would you go with?
I'm guaranteed health, you're saying?
Guaranteed.
So basically, I'm betting the question is, can Anthony Edwards match Dwayne Wade's career, basically? That's a really tough one, which I know is the point, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna take you behind my thinking. I'm gonna say, so my instinct is actually to go Anthony Edwards. That's my instinct because I think the offensive game is actually a bit more, I like the jump shooting, a little bit more dynamic.
Right.
But it scares me, and I'm reticent to sort of demote Dwayne Wade or put him ahead of Dwayne Wade. Does that make sense what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
But I guess we'll go with the instinct. We're going to go with the gut. I'm going to go with Anthony Edwards. I'm going to say that. I might regret that, but I'm going to go Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, because part of it, you're betting on the potential in the future.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen 10 years Anthony Edwards yet, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it scares me to, Dwayne Wade's obviously, Dwayne Wade's a guy. That guy's awesome. Was awesome. I'm gonna go Anthony Edwards.
Fair enough. All right, I got a good one for you. Chris Paul or Jason Kidd?
Ooh, Chris Paul or Jason Kidd. Yeah, that's funny. Well, I have to go back. So I went to a high school in New Jersey, and we went to a lot of Nets games. I was not a Nets fan, but we went to a lot of those Nets games because they played, I think it was called the Izod Center. And
yes,
the tickets.
it was.
Nobody went to those games, so you'd get $6 tickets. And then you walk down. But those teams were so fun. I love those teams, like the Jason Kidd, Kerry Kittles, Kenyon Martin. Those teams were a blast. I'm going Jason Kidd.
Oh, J. Kidd? Okay. Why Jason Kidd? Just curious.
Why Jason Kidd? I love the passing, and also I like jerks. No, I'm kidding. Just the dynamic pass. I feel like Jason Kidd is we think of him as sort of like the true point guard. He was great. If you queue up a Jason Kidd YouTube highlight and you see some of the alley-oops he was throwing, it's almost like he was ahead of his time. Like he was playing in a open court, fast-paced game. I think it'd be wild to watch.
Okay, fair enough. All right, this next comparison, we compared in, I don't know what episode it was, but it was season 2. We compared two quiet superstars, who aren't as concerned with their appearance based on their attire.
Okay.
Kind of dismissive a little bit when it comes to, things in basketball or off the court. But we compared Nikola Jokic and Tim Duncan. Who would you go with?
Oh, man. See, here's the thing, right? Those two are like, I joke that there are 25 top 10 NBA players of all time, right? Basically, you go like Jordan, and you can go, and then there's, Russell, Wilt, LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Magic, Bird, Olajuwon, Duncan, Shaq, right? And they're all top 10 players. You've already named 18 of them, right? Those two are both in there, and so it feels blasphemous to pick against somebody who's a top 10 guy. You know what I mean? Like that, it just feels like I shouldn't. So I don't want to pick against. You know what? I'm gonna go Duncan. I'm gonna go. I was gonna say Flash. I mean, Jokic is like the greatest offensive player. He's unbelievable. I'm gonna go I'm gonna buy into the fact that it's not that Jokic is in this, but there's something special about Duncan, and obviously on the court, but it's the leadership and his ability to impact the franchise. Like, it's not just that he was awesome, but he made the San Antonio Spurs like a dynasty, right? A dynasty, and over a decade. And there's something innate there, so I'm gonna go with that.
True.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer there.
I know.
Yeah, Tim Duncan came in with Dave Robinson was at his peak, and he carried that torch for another 15 years or so. So
I mean, also he he made the Spurs into this is honestly it's part of his legacy. We all think of Popovich, but he made the Spurs into this franchise that became like synonymous with excellence, and everyone hired their coaches and their GMs, and let's do it the Spurs way, and that's all him, right? That was all him. So I'm gonna give him the nod on.
Yeah, it is interesting. Real quick, as a writer, you appreciate behind the scenes stories. So I do the bio for all of our episodes, and Tim Duncan, I did not know that. Had a hurricane not come through the Virgin Islands, he may have just become a swimmer because it destroyed the swimming pool. And it was like, all right, what else am I going to do? And started shooting hoops. And and from there, his career just went and developed Wake Forest and then became a Hall of Famer.
Wild, right? I like the comparison of the two of those, though. I like them being lumped together, those two guys.
Well, this one right here is a comparison straight out of Miami. Bam Adebayo and Alonzo Mourning.
I'm going Mourning. Maybe I'm going a little quicker. I'm going Mourning there. I'm going Mourning. I think just, a little better. Just a little better. Basically a little better and everything. I'm going to go Mourning on that one.
Okay. All right, now we're going to go back to a time where I don't think any of us saw. I mean, I saw Kareem. I'm a little bit older than you guys, so I did see Kareem play in the 80s and 90s, but I did not see Bill Russell. Okay. But if you had to choose between these two champions, these two greats, who would you go with?
Similar, right? It feels blasphemous to pick against either of them. You know what? I'll go offense. I'll lean offense. How about that? Even though I just made the whole Duncan, the whole Duncan case about, and beat the guy being a guy who built a dynasty, but I'll go offense. When it comes to the NBA, I'll go to shop scoring and offense and be unstoppable, maybe the most unstoppable shot in NBA history. So
Hook.
Okay, so you're going Kareem for offensive purposes. Okay.
I'm going Kareem. I'll pick the offense over defense.
All right. Okay. All right. Now this involves a Philadelphia 76er, Tyrese Maxey or John Wall.
What's funny is they're actually they're similar in their, Kentucky point guards who are fast as hell and
That's why we did the comparison.
speed. Max, their skills are like Wall is his best skill, honestly. I mean, his speed and also his passing. He was an unbelievable passer. And Maxey is actually not a great passer, but a great scorer. You know what? I'm gonna go. Wall's career will ended pretty quickly. I'm gonna go Maxey. I'm just gonna bet that Maxey. We got another 10 years of Maxey, so I'm gonna go with that.
I'm surprised you're going with that after he put the was it dagger in that one game they came back in the playoffs against the Knicks.
Well, listen, I respect it. You gotta respect it.
That was no one saw that coming. I was like, whoa. That showed Maxey's. It showed his playoff rising ability. Yeah. All right, so this next one, 2 power forwards, completely unstoppable in the paint. Their field goal percentage inside the paint is off the charts, but you got to go with one. Who would you go with? Would you go with Zion Williamson? Remember, 10 years of good health, all right? 10 years slim version of what we have now. Zion Williamson. Right, yeah, he looks great. Zion Williamson or Charles Barkley?
Barkley. I'm going to go Barkley still. I'm still going to go Barkley. Barkley was a beast. I'm going to go Barkley.
All right. Give us a little more.
I mean, you guarantee me 10 years of Zion, healthy, I guess, but it still seems impossible to believe. Even with your guarantee, I don't believe it, right? I also, it's a funny comparison. I'm not convinced Zion loved basketball that way, right? I'm just not convinced on it. He hasn't shown it. Barkley did. So that's where I'm.
Okay.
Yeah. Charles always had passion on the court, whether he was losing for the Sixers or winning with the Suns. So, I get that. I get it. All right. Trae Young or Tim Hardaway Sr.?
Ooh. That's funny. That's like, because Hardaway also, I think, was like a real winner. This guy, I mean, I grew up again in the 90s, the Knicks. I'm gonna go Hardaway Sr. Just as the 90s Knicks fan who saw Hardaway destroy, rip them with crossovers nonstop. Just doing all that. I'm gonna go with Hardaway.
Okay. Yeah, you did see him up close and personal because
destroying those teams.
There was some great. That was a great rivalry in that time period, and just was an amazing. He was a bulldog, right? I love Tim Hardaway. Do you remember his? He had the black and gray sneakers. I forget what they were called. They had like a gray strap in the front.
Yeah,
oh, those are my favorites. They were heavy as hell. I remember playing basketball, thinking like, do I have bricks in my shoe? Those are some heavy shoes.
That's funny.
All right, our next comparison, we're going with 2 small forwards. One is Jaylen Brown. The other is Andre Iguodala.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Jaylen Brown. I think he's better than Andre Iguodala ever was. I think the interesting part about Iguodala was that the decision he willingly made to kind of become a 6th man as opposed to being a number 1 guy in a 30-win team. So I guess I don't know if Jaylen Brown would have that in him. But I think Jaylen Brown at his best is better than Iguodala was. If you're building a team, if I have to pick one guy, so I'll go with him.
Okay. All right. Andre Iguodala had some big shots, though.
Oh yeah, great, and I respect. I mean, he made a decision from a career standpoint that if more people would benefit from if they made it, right, similar one. You don't need to be the guy, and if you sacrifice, you actually have a better career.
And he's one of the linchpins of the whole process. So
exactly.
That's right. That's right.
Too. There's that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So all right, here's the next one: Klay Thompson or Chris Mullin?
Oh. Klay Thompson. I think just a better version of that, right? And just if not for Steph Curry, the best shooter ever, right? So I'm going Klay Thompson.
So you of course, being from New York, Mullen was a beast from the New York area.
That's not picking against Mullen, picking for Klay Thompson.
Okay, fair enough. How about this one? This name probably came up in your book a few times. J.J. Redick or Grayson Allen?
J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick, yeah. Grayson Allen, yeah. J.J. Redick put together a really good career. J.J. Redick was good. You bet J.J. Redick over Grayson Allen.
Okay. 2 Dukies, a little controversial with their play.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Hey, Joel Embiid didn't have a better dribble handoff
Yep.
combination than JJ Redick.
Yep.
Wish they'd have played more. I'm getting into
Completely
Sixers.
agree.
I'm sorry.
No. I'm
completely
glad
agree.
you brought that up because I'm still mad at Redick for leaving Philly because you look at the trajectory of that team. If it wasn't for that 4 quadruple bounce lucky shot from Kawhi, also a travel, by the way. The dude traveled. It took like 12 steps. But anyway, JJ Redick was on the way on a winning team with Jimmy Butler and all those guys. And if it's all about winning, why do you leave? Go to New Orleans? Go to New Orleans.
No, he wasn't all about winning. He wanted money. He wanted the money.
Hello.
They gave him $20 million for 1 year. I mean, nobody's gonna say no to that.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, good times. All right, so next one: Julius Randle or Derek Coleman?
See, what's happening is that like the guys are just better. It's kind of like of your time. So I'll go Derek. Yeah, Julius Randle. Derek Coleman ever make like a? Was he ever? I think Julius Randle got MVP votes 1 year, right? That year at the Knicks. I'm gonna go Julius Randle. I think at his best he was better than Derek Coleman was. I'm not just saying in terms of his skills. Obviously, guys are better now, but I think he had some All NBA nods and stuff that I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna go Julius Randle.
Anything stand out to you about Coleman though? Any plays or?
I mean,
teams?
just be a beast, right? Just
he was a beast.
like that's the Derek. That's what I picture, right? Just I could picture my basketball card of him ripping down a rebound actually. But that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
one of the best quotes of all time. He's being interviewed and he was like, "Oh, so and so's not practicing," and he's like, "Whoop-de-damn do." I love that quote. I love that quote.
Yeah, I think Derek Cole will be uncovered during that episode. Is Derek Coleman's prime? Although it was short, it was a great prime. Maybe like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Then he had a knee injury and kind of sidestepped everything. And after that, he was just not as good. So, yeah.
Just got a follow from DC a couple weeks ago. Derek Coleman. Shout out DC.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. All right, now this one's a good one. I think this is.
Wait, no, this is mine. Don't take mine.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I jumped the gun on that one.
No, because I like we do a lot of. I mean, obviously American players, but when we do like a Euro comparison, it's interesting because it's from the other side of the pond. So we compared Alperen Şengün to Vlade Divac.
Ooh,
who would you go with?
Ooh, Şengün. You know what? I'm gonna go with Divac. I love Divac. I like the. I'm picturing Şengün, and he's great. I'm picturing the Rick Adelman offense and guys running around the handoffs and Divac operating from the elbow. I'm gonna go Vlade. Him to being the only guy who could body Shaq. I'm going Vlade.
Yeah, we talk about that series with the Lakers. That's a big what if the whistles went the other way.
Yeah, historically and legacy-wise and all kinds of things, right? 100%.
Oh, wait, you mean the Kings? The Sacramento Kings?
Yeah, with
okay.
Kings, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was heartbreaking for Sacramento fans, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Pascal Siakam or Lamar Odom?
Ooh. Do I have to get the off-court baggage, or is it just on-court stuff?
Just on-court. We just take the on-court stuff.
That's a book in itself right there.
It is.
You know what? Again, I'm going to say Siakam is bad. I love Lamar Odom. I don't think Lamar Odom was ever as good as Siakam. I mean, Siakam's like a guy who averaged 24 points a game. Right? I know the game's different now. I love Odom, but I'm going Siakam. And the defense too, right? The defense too.
Yep, absolutely. Different roles too. Odom was a sixth man, and Siakam, I mean, was it back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals for Siakam with the Pacers of all teams, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Impacting winning. That's what the guy does. So our final comparison of season 2, we compared 2 small forwards, 2 champions. Again, forget off-court or whatever drama, but if you had to pick between Kawhi Leonard or Scottie Pippen, who would you go
Uncle
with?
Dennis?
Uncle Dennis. No Uncle Dennis. Leave him outside.
Yeah.
I'm going Kawhi again. The offense, great defensive players. Scottie never had close to the offensive game that Kawhi has. Which again, nothing against him, but Kawhi, yeah. And Kawhi is a top 5 player when healthy, or he was at least. Scottie was never that.
All right, fair enough. All right, so we're coming to the end of our interview with Yaron Weitzman, and Yaron, please let us know. Do you have any other Like, do you have any book tours? Are you speaking anywhere? What projects do you have
Yeah,
coming
you
up to
can
promote your
check
book?
if you will put up it's not, it'll be on social media, on my social channels. It'll be there. You can see things we got going on. I'll show you this. Wait, if you order the book, you email LeBron Lakers book at Gmail and give me your address, proof of purchase. You can get a LeBron bookmark. It's like you're reading alongside him, right? It'll be perfect.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right, that's cool.
So there you go. So yeah, do that. Show me proof of purchase. LeBron Lakers book at Gmail. I will send it to you. But yeah, otherwise the book, buy the book. If you're an NBA fan, genuinely, I know I have to say this, but I think you will like it. You'll find it interesting.
All right. Now, before you go, can you please share one more time? I know you did at the beginning of the episode. Please share your social media handles, or where can we support you at and follow you?
Yeah, it's Twitter and Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, all this stuff. You can Yaron Weitzman, my name, Yaron Weitzman. You can find me there. Put me in the Google machine, I'll pop up. You can find all my stuff. It's all readily accessible.
All right, so Yaron, thank you for giving us your
Yes.
time. We know you're a very busy man, especially with your book coming out on October 21st. Please, if you're listening, if you're watching, his book, if it's anything like Taking to the Top, you will get hooked. His writing prose is absolutely engaging. His stories are fascinating. You heard it. He over 300 interviews with people about this book. And he does not hold back any punches. He doesn't have any agenda. He just wants to give us the truth. His latest book, A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers, again, is coming out October 21st. There it is right there.
Ooh,
Hold it up.
yeah.
Nice in front of the camera. On behalf of Maurice, myself, and Yaron Weitzman, I'm Uri with NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons. Our initial episode for season 3 will be a comparison of Wilt Chamberlain and Victor Wembanyama. So please check that out. Follow us on all social media. You can reach us on NBANowandThen.com. All right, Yaron, take care, man. Thanks for your time.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
You.
See you later.